Oh! Oh my god, dude! So much happening here! Oh my... This... No cap, this is the best update the game has received thus far. There is not... Why didn't they put all of this into their stupid trailer yesterday? I'm sorry, Lilith Games, I love you. I'm sorry I called you stupid. Improvements to the Ritual Miracle. Floor 11 to 16 have been added. Floor 13 to 16 have a much higher chance of dropping 6-star. Oh my god! New endgame. Oh my god. They did not mention anything about the earlier stages. The earlier stages being floor 10, being a bit easier, which means that I feel like they are going to increase the difficulty even further. Plus points. Hell yes. Okay, we're gonna skip a lot of this because it's not too important. Okay, maybe yeah, the living skin can only be obtained by reaching tier legend apex in the warm-up match, which is something that we'll talk about later. Bruh. Okay, so Static Shock, I just want to skip this because I'm not too excited. I mean, I'm super excited about this, but there's something else that is even more exciting. I'm sure you already know what it is. So what this is about is basically just like your AFK Arena, your exploration mode. If you do not know what that is essentially you can move around tiles, acquire certain points, certain objectives, and as long as you reach like an 80% map completion, which anyway, I also wouldn't know much about this as well, but if you reach 80% map completion, you can move on to the next map, the next chapter rather, and there are 4 chapters in total. Let's skip this, let's move on to the next one. Zeus! Gaia's Probability Up event, we have made the following adjustments to Echo for a better drawing experience. So I think they have finally decided that, hey, you know what? We realize that people are complaining, and we just want to make things good for everyone. And this is literally the best system right now. Okay, so attempts for a guaranteed legendary Esper draw has been greatly reduced. Now there is a new thing called the Super Sensors, okay, and I'll talk about it. It's kind of like a separate banner, I think. So Super Sensors has been added for the Probability Up event, while further reducing the attempts for a guaranteed legendary Esper draw. The probability of getting a featured Probability Up Esper has been increased to 50%, which means that if you're going to get a legendary Esper via this Super Sensors banner, 50% of the time you're going to get the guaranteed Esper. Moreover, we have also added new rules to help players get their ideal Espers more easily. So number 1, players will always get the featured Probability Up Esper within 2 guaranteed draws, which means that if you fail to get the Probability Up Esper on the first legendary pool that you get, the next legendary that you're going to get is going to be the banner Esper, aka it's going to be Gaius. Now point number 2, guaranteed draw attempts are shared among multiple card pools. So what this means, we will talk about it in just a bit. It is mentioned somewhere below. Now we've also prepared the record conversion event for all players. I'm actually not very sure what this is. I'm not sure why there is a record conversion. Are they doing away with the current banner? Are they doing away with gold records? I'm not actually very sure. So during the event, gold records spun in echoes can be converted into super sound matrices, and every 10 spins grants 50 super sound matrices, and 50 of these translates into 1 pool. So basically, you're getting a 10% return for every 10 spins that you do, which is essentially whatever that we have experienced thus far, right? Whenever you have a new banner, 10% of whatever that you spent upwards of the first 200 summons will be returned to you in gold records. So I think this is probably a replacement to whatever that is existing thus far. Now this is the probability ups info and adjustments, right? So during the event, the chance of summoning Gaius from Echo spins is increased. The probability up event will unlock in Super Sensors. Now players can use Super Sound Matrices to spin in Super Sensors. So I believe that this Super Sensors is going to be the banner itself, the Gaius banner. Super Sound Matrix Sources. Okay, so you can get it from online Union Shop, Temporal Tower, Bounties, etc. So the fact that this is mentioned here makes me believe that this is going to be what future banners are going to look like. They are going to be called Super Sensors. Now, probability. So the probability of acquiring a legendary Esper from Super Sensors is 0.5%, which is less, right? It's half, right? But the thing is, there is this thing called a consolidated chance, which is 1.51%. And what the hell does that mean? Let me explain to you. Okay, so guarantee rules: if players haven't gotten any legendary Espers within 79 Echo spins, their 80th spin is guaranteed to yield a legendary. So this is what they mean by the consolidated chance. Basically, they have done the math for you and they have already calculated the probability of you getting a legendary per summon, basically, which incorporates the 80 PT over here. Now, upon getting a legendary Esper, players have a 50% chance of getting the featured Esper for the probability up event. So it's the same as your gold records, basically. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Except that now your PT is a lot lower. It's 40 pools lower. But take note that this is only summonable by the Super Sound Matrices, not gold records. Okay, so once you obtain a legendary Esper from the Echo, the spin streak leading to a guaranteed legendary will be reset. Yes, exactly what we have in the past. Now, if the legendary Esper obtained from Echo Spins is not the event's currently featured Esper, the next legendary Esper obtained will be the legendary Esper feature, right? So yeah, what we've talked about as well. This card pool, which is I think the banner, retains cumulative spins and the probability of getting the designated legendary Esper. So for example, yeah, this is the part that I was referring to earlier. If players have spun 50 times in Super Sensors this time, the next banner event that happens, you will start from 51, which means that what I'm understanding here is, I think there are two banners right now. There is going to be the standard banner and there is going to be the Super Sensors banner. They both require different summon materials, right? One is Gold Record, one is your Super Sound Matrices. So the PT rate just continues, that's what they're trying to say. Moving on, besides the featured probability up Esper, this card pool also contains these legendary Espers: Lewis, Tricky, Sally, and Raven. These 4 Espers won't appear in any other card pools. So this is really interesting. So these 4 Espers won't appear in any other card pools. That means that if there were to be 2 different banners, because you still have your gold records to be used, right? Which is why I think they're trying to like convert your gold records away, something like that. I'm not actually very sure about this, we will see. So my understanding is that the standard banner will actually remove these Espers and put it into your Super Sensors banner instead. So if you're really looking for Lewis, you're really looking for Tricky, Sally, Raven, unfortunately there's no Clara here, but these 4 Espers would appear in this banner itself. Now, Gold Record player adjustments. So probability, base chance of acquiring a legendary Esper from the Gold Record summoning pool is 1%, but because of what's gonna come to the changes of your Gold Record's PT rate, the consolidated chance is actually 1.58%. Now here is the guarantee rules, right? So currently it has been reduced from 120 PT to 100 PT. So after the update, if players don't get any legendary Espers after 99 Echo Spins, they always get the legendary from the next Echo Spin. Basically, they reduce a PT from 120 to 100. Now, when the probability up event unlocks for the Divine Turntable, the probability up Esper will be added to this card pool. So Gaius can also be drawn from the Gold Record summoning pool, this is exactly what makes me believe that there are 2 banners. And as I've talked about previously on top here, Lewis, Tricky, Sally, and Raven will not appear in this banner. And there is more. So Static Shock's event benefit. So during this event itself, as long as you're above level 16 before the update, you will gain 500 Super Sound Matrices from the mill, which is essentially a free 10 pool for everyone. Oh my god, dude, this is so good. But the thing is, I'm not exactly very sure how often we can obtain Super Sound Matrices because you need 50 for one single summon, right? So it's not exactly true to say that, wow, 80 pulls and then you're gonna get legendary. That's like super easy for you to get legendary, right? It really depends on how often the materials come around. Okay, so now next, warm-up match. So it unlocks for level 30 plus players and it is an event that runs for about a period of a month. So during the event, players can start matchmaking to battle other players in real time from the event screen. And participation attempts are not limited, so players can pick 5 Espers for each match and ban 1 Esper, and it's a 4v4 format, and each victory grants points, and players' tier in the warm-up match will be increased. Meanwhile, each failure will deduct points. Basically like a point war, except that your attempts are not limited. Now, based on the player's tier, each victory grants a certain number of supply coins, and players can redeem supply coins for legendary Starimon, random 6-star flawless relics, and other items in a tournament shop. Now, upon reaching tier Apex Legend, Apex Legends? They can claim Liling skin Rowdy Boy. Fantastic. So just try to go for Apex Legends and you can claim the skin for free. That's it. Next, Cube Miracle optimizations. I feel like this is a little bit unnecessary. Okay, so this part is okay. Types of enemy formations have been increased, which is cool. This is great. But the thing is, they reduce the HP in Cube Miracle. I don't really think that that's necessary at all. I don't think that it was such a problem to begin with. And now Infinite Miracle optimizations, Temporal Tower rewards have been adjusted. So Infernal Record Fragment, Flow Record Fragment, and Wind Record Fragment have been changed to your Super Sound Matrix. So previously you needed 20 of the fragments in order to summon once, right? But now you need 50 to summon once, which is essentially the same rate because previously you need like 10 times of this to summon once, but now you need 10 times of this to summon once. It's the same. Now, daily rewards have been added to the Spatial Tower, so players can claim rewards every day based on the highest floor they clear. Higher floors grant better rewards, but daily rewards refresh at 0000. After clearing the Spatial Tower, players can still claim Spatial Tower rewards in the Temporal Tower. So this is the part that I'm not exactly very sure, right? You can claim the Spatial Tower rewards in the Temporal Tower, but does that mean that your Temporal Tower is scaling accordingly, or I'm not actually very sure. Now, in the Spatial Tower, if players get stuck on a certain floor, the floor's difficulty will be decreased by 3% per day, up to 15%. Once they complete the floor, the next floor's difficulty returns to normal. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure they took this from somewhere. I'm not sure whether it's the AFK Arena or what. But this is a really helpful tool to help newbies complete the Spatial Tower. And the Spatial Tower and Temporal Tower. Oh. Don't consume stamina now. Fantastic. This is perfect. Now, Desolate Lens adjustments, ratings, EX, EX Plus, and EX Plus. I told you! They have been added above Triple S in the Desolate Lens stages, so newly added ratings have a greater chance of dropping better rewards, and quitting in the middle of a stage is regarded as a battle loss now, and 1 stamina will be deducted instead of you consuming all 10 stamina. This is exactly what I needed, because there are a lot of times where I don't want to sit through the whole thing. I just want to like get out and test a new team, but because of that I have to spend 10 stamina, so this is a good change. Now there are some boss adjustments as well. I will discuss more about it when the update actually drops itself. So there are new passive effects for Chronos, Apep, and Fafnir. So damage up for a skill after using it a certain amount of time. So basically, the longer you try to drag it on, the more damage they're going to deal. That could change some of the strategies, I think. But then again, we will have to see how difficult they are going to be, especially on floor 16. 16. Okay, what the hell? They're like seriously just trying to resolve all the problems that everyone has voiced out, right? So rewind event improvements. Right now, your abilities will be rewound as well. So if you put your Esper into the rewind box, whatever you call it, even your abilities will be rewound to a default, and material spent on upgrades will be refunded. They're going to return you all your legendary Abilimons. That's crazy. So the thing is, now if you use your Abilimons on your, let's say your legendary Esper, and it all went to your first skill, you can kind of like abuse this mechanic to take back your legendary Abilimons and throw it back onto your legendary Esper again. Hopefully this time it goes to your second or your third skill, whichever you require, right? So that's something. This is so good. This is such a good change. Okay, and now story optimizations. As you can see over here, they are changing some of the rewards from Gold Records to Super Sound Matrices. So I do believe that they are trying to move away from Gold Records for some reason. But the thing is, I don't really know how that works in the future, where there are going to be 2 different banners, and one being Super Sensors and the other being maybe a regular banner. I'm not actually sure how this would work. Okay, and I think this is how you can obtain your Suhua 9-star song skin, which is just by unlocking the Radiant version of the M-Pass, which is, I guess, you'll see a lot of people running around with the black Suhua, right? Now we're going to finally end off with the Esper balance changes, and I know this video has been dragging on for way too long, but there's so much going on in this one single update. Oh my god, I spoke too soon! I spoke too soon in my previous Q&A video. So there is going to be a huge nerf to Clara. Clara is basically going to go down from like S tier to... I have no idea how far down she's going to go. I will have to reevaluate her again. So there is a huge nerf to Queen's Protection, which is instead of dispelling 2 debuffs from targets, you will only dispel 1 debuff. And at the same time, you no longer grant immunity on targets without debuff, right? So all you have left is just granting a shield. This is a major nerf, dude. Wow, this is such a painful nerf to her passive. And this is her third skill, right? Hymn of Life. So previously increases allies' AP by 20% and you heal all allies by 35% of their max HP. But right now, you would then have the dispelling 1 debuff from each ally and grant immunity to allies without debuffs wanted. So this is really big. They are moving that 1 ability down to her Hymn of Life, which makes her very much less overpowered, especially with Avatara. So right now she's only broken when she uses her third skill, right? But the thing is, she's not broken when she uses her third skill, she's just normal when she uses her third skill. It's just that they are nerfing her normal attack like crazy, and she's no longer going to be relevant on Avatara as, well, not as much as she were previously. But I will still think that Avatara is still going to be really good for her. It's just that major nerf to Clara. Now another nerf to Lucas as well. I didn't think that they are going to nerf anything, but yeah, as you can see over here, Light Pulse, so this is his normal attack. Previously he steals 15% AP per hit, but now he only steals 10% AP. This is a pretty significant change. Now as for Ahmed, I think this was a well-needed buff. I did feel like Ahmed was kind of lame. I mean, he's just like pretty much a height counter. But now his new skill has 1 extra line, which is each 1% of max HP lost increases healing amount by 0.5%, which makes him a little bit better as a healer. I think previously his healing was not very good unless you were healing like 1 or 2 Espers at once. But the thing is, if you had a few Espers on your team that needed to be healed, he's not going to do a very good job about it. So this is a way to balance it out a little bit. But I'm very curious to know whether is this a max HP lost on your ally or on yourself, because that really changes a lot of things. And there is also a small change to his supporting song. So previously, you gain upwards of 50% attack in total of like 25 stacks, right? But now you only cap out at 15 stacks, which is a lot easier to manage, and you have a higher base attack increment as well, which is 60%. And now a small change to the Blackguard, which honestly I don't think changes much for him at all. So essentially the true damage that he does on his, I think it's his third skill, instead of the true damage being 5% of the enemy's max HP, it now becomes 10% of the enemy's max HP, up to 80% of his own max HP. So that's basically it. Actually, I think this was his first skill because this looks like his third skill, right? So gains crit rate, yeah, this is his third skill. Gains crit rate up for 2 turns, attacks an enemy 3 times, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the main change over here is that he now calls his twin to assist with Heaven Awaits, which is essentially one of the twin skill. I can't really recall which one it was, but let's take a look at the white guard over here. So Heaven Awaits, gains speed up for 2 turns. Okay, yeah, this is his third skill. So that means you will call your twin to assist using his third skill. But does that eat his cooldown? I'm actually not very sure. So the only change to the white guard here is that he will then call his brother to assist with the Netherworld Hurl, which is going to be his third skill. So yeah, the main thing for me is, does this affect their cooldowns? If it doesn't affect their cooldowns, then this is going to be really huge because you have 3 third skills just to throw around like that for 2 times, right? But I think this skill, this change to the third skills would make a very big difference for them. So they kind of like covered some of the things that I talked about in the recent Q&A video. I'm really excited about these changes. I think these changes are really good. And honestly, I was actually going to talk about what they need to do in order to fix their problems. And they have actually fixed all of these problems. So I've actually taken a bit of time to talk to a lot of content creators recently. And it seems like the changes are a factor here as well. Obviously, it's not because of whatever that we have talked about. But I do feel like they are really starting to listen to the player base right now. Alright, so that's it for this video. It has run for way too long and I'm losing my voice again. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have anything else to add. With regards to the patch notes, what did I miss? Let me know as well. So if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more dislike content. Now with that said, this has been Daddy Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.